Hello and welcome here to Talk FCB and welcome back to the channel, guys. El Clasico has been and gone, and for Barcelona it is more disappointment as we've now recorded just 1 point from our last 3 La Liga games. Real Madrid have come out winners by 3-1 at the Camp Nou. Is that scoreline a fair reflection of the game? Did we really play that bad? And at what moment did this game turn on its head? It's all coming up. Full analysis in the match review. It's disappointment, and that always hurts in a game like this. Because in terms of Ronald Koeman's lineup, obviously we spoke before the game in the lineup reaction, there were a few things in there which were a surprise, but overall I was pretty happy with what we saw. It wasn't exactly as we expected though. We thought Messi may line up here as the centre-forward false 9, but actually it was very much Ansu Fati there playing through the middle. Coutinho came out more towards the left-hand side, Messi playing as the 10 with Pedri on the right-hand side, and I have to say, right throughout the first half and indeed the game, those wide roles for Pedri and then for Coutinho too, it didn't really work well for them. It didn't really see them playing to their full strengths. Obviously when Pedri was a bit more central, Dest could help out, and exactly the same there for Jordi Alba, but I just didn't feel as though in those wider areas, with both of those two out there, it didn't really function for Barcelona, and that's why, as we're going to come on to, I was so surprised that Koeman didn't act sooner. And that did cost us. But in terms of the start to the game, which was absolutely rapid, even by Clasico standards, it was a really hectic start to the game, and it took Real Madrid just 5 or so minutes to get on the score sheet, and it was a dreadful goal from our perspective. In terms of defending, we've said all along we've had big concerns there about the heart of our defence, about pace going in behind, and you could see it very clearly there when Valverde is able to just run, and it is so easy there for Real Madrid to pick apart our defence. Benzema there receives the ball, and you can see the run happening, and for Busquets there not to follow Valverde in, for nobody there to track that runner from midfield, it's ludicrous. Even at Sunday League level, it's basic stuff that just shouldn't happen at this level. Valverde's got all the time, all the space in the area, and you've got to say it's a wonderful finish there across Neto, and Real Madrid had an early lead. And from that moment on, you were thinking, oh dear, not a good start, how is this game going to go now? But against Sevilla, it was a very similar story. We hit back really quickly, and I was impressed with our response. It was a brilliant goal too. Messi picking the ball up there in that deeper role. He finds an absolutely fantastic pass there in behind the Jordi Alba, who was down that left-hand side. I thought Jordi Alba, considering the circumstances, he only just come back from injury, I thought he had a really decent game there on the left. He was our big attacking outlet. He gets in behind. It's a good ball across to Ansu Fati, who's taking up that number 9 position, and it's a really well-worked goal. And another big goal for this young man Ansu Fati, and regardless there of the result, there were several bright points from today's game. Ansu in that 9 position, he worked well, he was energetic, he makes intelligent runs, he finds himself in the right space, and as you can see there with the celebration, kissing of the Barcelona badge, no matter what, we can be very excited about that young man. But from that moment on, in terms of Barcelona, we couldn't get that goal to go ahead. I felt as though today, had we put away one of the many chances that we had in front of goal, it would have been very different. We could have started to control things. We were on top for most of the game, I felt, but we never got that finishing touch. There was a Messi chance, of course. He was denied there in brilliant fashion by Courtois. He left Ramos for dead. He was on his right foot, but you'd expect him to score from that position. But there was a great save down the other end immediately after that chance. This time it was Kroos who managed to just run in behind our defence. And I think when you've got Toni Kroos running in behind you and actually exposing you there at the heart of defence, he is not a quick player, but he managed to do it. That shows just how bad things are. He cuts it back to Benzema, and it's a really good save from Neto. There was a few penalty appeals as well. Casemiro with a really strong challenge on Lionel Messi in the box. He does take the ball, but he also takes the man on the follow-through. You have seen them given in today's game. But if there was one thing, regardless of the result, regardless of anything else that I have to say about this game, yes, we've lost, but what a performance, and what a player we have in Serginho Dest. Right throughout the game, from the start to the end, played the full 90 and played it outstandingly. Honestly, absolutely brilliant there. He shut down Vinicius. He shut down Mendy on the overlap. Real Madrid's left-hand side usually is such a dangerous side for him. They link up so well. They get crosses in the box. But he was just everywhere. He has so much pace. He reads the game well. He's good going forward. He covers in behind. He mops up. He anticipates things well. And I was just so happy with everything. And I mean everything we saw from him today. And like I say, it's disappointing to lose. There's a lot of things today that we have to do better. But I was so happy and really optimistic to see what we saw from Serginho Dest. The second half, though, for Barcelona was very much a mixed bag. I thought we started it really well. Again, big chances came and went. There was one for Ansu Fati there. He just squares up Sergio Ramos. He's looking at the goal, and he puts a shot there just across Thibaut Courtois. So close to going in, but it just goes wide there of the far post. That could have easily been very different. And just moments later, Ansu actually makes one of those runs out wide. He bends that run, gets into a good area. He floats a brilliant cross in to Felipe Coutinho, but he heads it wide and into the side netting, and that again is a massive chance in this game. And if you don't score, if you don't put away your chances, we saw it back in March in El Clasico at the Bernabeu, you will get punished. And it was sad the way it happened, because I think today was a really good game. Both teams were going at each other. There was good attacking football. It was an exciting Clasico, much better than anything we saw last season from this fixture. But then it's really sad, I feel, that a game like this has to be changed in that way because of a penalty decision. And it's a dubious penalty. Make no mistake about that. Yes, you can say, and I hold my hands up, and so too should Clement Lenglet, because he does grab the shirt of Sergio Ramos. You cannot avoid that. Even as a Barcelona fan, I can admit he grabs the shirt. But you have to look at it here. The fact that Lenglet grabs Ramos from the right. Ramos then literally takes off like he's an aeroplane to the left. He dives into the air. He sprawls in the air, and then he goes down. And you just look at that and you think that's embarrassing. Sergio Ramos there, painted out to be a big hard man, tackles anything, squares up, faces up to anything, and then he's going down like that. For me, it was wrong. The referee took a look at it. I never had any doubt, to be honest, that it was going to be a penalty. You just knew that it was going to be given. It was. Ramos dispatched it. Real Madrid had the lead. And that there, sadly, was when the game was changed. And it really hurt there because, like I say, had we gone ahead, had we got one of those goals to give us the lead, this game could have been a very different story, because I honestly don't think we played bad. Today, I thought we had some bright moments, we had some bright players. The one huge criticism, and the one thing in this game, though, that I can't get my head around, it's that second half when we went down, when you could see out there that it wasn't working. Like I say, Pedri wasn't functioning on that right-hand side. It was a big occasion for him, and it didn't quite happen. Coutinho was just as bad. And in midfield, Sergio Busquets, he's a player I love. I love him as a player, of course, over the years. But today, shocking. Absolutely terrible. How he stayed out there for so long, I have no idea whatsoever. Yet Koeman didn't want to change it. 81 minutes before we saw the first change, and I just didn't get that. Every single one of us watching there from the sidelines, we were thinking, just do something. We are waiting here to use the options that we have on the bench, because it wasn't like he didn't have anyone. He had brilliant players there. You had Dembele, you had Griezmann, Trincao. You had players on the bench who could clearly make an impact, Miralem Pjanic, but he didn't want to use them, and time went on and on and on, and you could see players not only playing poorly, but they were tired out there. We were really tiring. It was begging for a change, but Koeman, in that big moment, in a game like this, he was stuck in the headlights. He didn't react quick enough, and when he did, it was far too late. 81 minutes, he makes a triple sub. Ansu, Pedri, and Busquets come off. Griezmann, Dembele, and Trincao come on. But what can you do there in less than 10 minutes? What can you actually do to get up to speed with a game like this, to really settle and get comfortable and then perform? You can't do it. You're not going to be able to do it in that short of time. And it showed. Dembele, you know he takes time there to really settle in the game. It didn't work out, that sub. Trincao as well had a few bad touches, and it's just not the time there with just 10 minutes to go to bring players on. And it was a massive mistake, and he has to hold his hands up. Ronald Koeman there will have to take some blame. And of course from there, it didn't get better for Barcelona. Once again, Ronald Koeman throwing players on at the death. There was Braithwaite who came on. There was no real organisation or structure in the latter period of the game from Barcelona. As a result of that, Neto was called into action very frequently. He actually made two brilliant saves to deny Toni Kroos. Could have easily been another goal to Real Madrid. There was another the moment as well, a brilliant save to deny Sergio Ramos. But sadly, Real did get their finishing touch. They did get their third goal. Neto couldn't quite collect their scrambling ball. It falls to Luka Modric. The net is at his mercy. He makes it 3 for Real Madrid. Barcelona lose this game, and it's frustrating because on another day, it could have been very different. There's certainly concerns, and we are going to talk about that. And also over on More Talk FCB, I am going to be discussing the full player ratings from this game, and there should be some interesting ones in there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. What did you make today of the game, of the performance? What did Barcelona do well? What did we need to do better? And do you feel as though we deserve to lose this game by 3-1? Or is that a bit harsh? Let me know all of that down below. And I will see you soon with more videos. We will keep pushing and we will keep fighting. I'll see you next time. But until then, as always, Visca! El Barça.